I think it is a coincidence that I'm in real estate. Everything was set, and then Lehman collapsed, and then Bombay blast happened, and there was no company to take you.
So that's why real estate was by default.
Purchase value, highest cost value in the lifetime. The costliest product that person is
Ever going to buy, correct?
you have to build that trust. So as a developer, we have a responsibility to create houses which will last for generations. We are technocrats first and then business. If you design a product from a technical background, you tend to deliver a much better product. So quality दो तरह की, एक है दिखने वाली quality, एक नहीं दिखने वाली quality. You have to deliver a home, a house, not a building just with features. घर is a psychological purchase. It is not a, it's an emotional purchase. It is not a financial purchase.
When we talk about real estate, we often focus on scale and delivery. But behind every project is a deeper layer of engineering, design, and long-term thinking. Our guest today, Prashant Khandelwal, works at exactly that intersection. He is the CEO of Agami Realty, leading the company's expansion across both affordable housing and premium developments in the Mumbai metropolitan region. With over 15 years of experience and a foundation of engineering in IIT Bombay, Prashant approaches real estate as a system, integrating sustainability, technology, and hands-on execution into every stage of development. In this episode of Prop Personalities, we explore his journey, the thinking behind building future-ready developments, and how a boutique design-led approach can stand out in a competitive market. Prashant, welcome to the show. Hi Prashant, so tell us about your real estate journey. How did you start and what made you move from theory to practice?
I think it is a coincidence that I'm in real estate.
Okay.
So I come from a middle class family from Jaipur where it was taught you study hard and that's where you will make your career. So I studied hard and got into IIT. Then it was very clear you get a highest package job. I think it was a 5-year course, 2004 to 2009 IIT Bombay.
Okay.
It was fabulous 5 years, and but I graduated in 2009. So 2008 you had a Lehman crisis. You have
Yes.
2611 Bombay bomb blast, and our placements at IIT starts on 1st December 2008. And 5 days before the
wow.
placement, there was a Bombay
The
blast.
bomb blast, correct.
So a lot of international companies back out, and it was a mayhem kind of a thing. So I did my civil engineering from IIT Bombay, and the thought process during the entire 5 years, this thing was that how you kind of follow your peers that are seniors, that
Correct.
they have got so and so job. So how it will you follow the same path. You do 2 years of consulting, then go to Harvard, Stanford, and then do
right.
PE or whatever.
So that was the
that is the kind
standard
of that is standard
roadmap.
part. So
Yes.
I was doing everything right by the theory that you have such and such CV, you have spikes, you have aux spike, you have good CPI, CGPA, and everything was set. And then Lehman collapsed, and then Bombay blast happened, and there was no company to take you.
So that's why real estate was by default then. Like,
Then since I was a civil engineer, I thought there's no opportunity loss kind of a thing of joining a real estate company. I met Rahul and his father's company is Agami Realty, and that's how I'm here. I joined them in 2009. It's 2016, so that's the coincidence. I happened to meet him. And
so you all were what, college mates?
no, he's senior from IIT Bombay, but his father is an engineer, Mr. J.S. Sankhe, who is the promoter of the company. He's a architect and engineer, and he started company in 1975. He was about to shut down the company. Rahul met me. The company was very small. We were around 4 or 5 people only. And Rahul told me that why don't you join and take it over? And for him, it was a very small company. So that's how it was a coincidence that time. So I joined the company that time.
And then in the last 16 years, it have
Yeah.
expanded so much.
Yeah.
Very nice. So now I understood, okay, how did Agami Realty come into the picture and how you got here? But as you mentioned, when you started off, the company was really small. So how has it evolved over these last few
So basically,
years?
when I joined, it was kind of a run by Mr. Sankhe, J.S. Sankhe. He is a promoter, and he used to run one-man show. A couple of engineers, a couple of staff. So only 4 or 5 people when I was there.
All right.
And since he's an architect and such himself, he used to make his own plans and do the RCC design himself. When I joined, so I still remember the first logo. So earlier we used to known as Mayuresh Developer, then we rebranded ourselves to Agami Realty. So the first logo also, I got somebody to make a logo and brand building and all those things. So that time we had a lot of projects which are completed, and in 2009 when I joined, so we started with the first sustainable affordable housing project in Boisar. That's a 10-acre project. We got IGBC platinum rated certification for a affordable housing project. So we are selling houses of 12 lakh rupees only, and we got IGBC platinum rate. So IGBC is the Indian Green Building Council, and in 2009 they recently, so earlier it was USGBC. They made in 2008-9 they made IGBC, and green homes silver, gold, and platinum. Silver is the lowest, gold is middle, and platinum is the highest. And we in 2009 we were the first one to apply for a platinum rating in affordable housing category. So, and we achieved all the this thing metrics, and we got IGBC platinum rated for a project which is in far ahead, in extended Mumbai suburbs, and 12 lakh ticket size. So that was a very big achievement that time. And then we continued doing affordable housing in Palghar Boisar area. Yeah.
So, is that part of the company's core values, having being eco-friendly and environmentally sustainable?
How? So, as a developer, we have a responsibility to create houses which will last for generations.
Right.
Let's say if I create a house which will absorb lower energy, which will kind of generate low waste, we have a waste segregation, we use less water. So these are the key fundamentals how the house should be designed. If you know, in our earlier kind of architecture, earlier old houses, Havelis, you have a lot of ventilation, a lot of air and light ventilation. You don't need lights. Don't used to be lights also. But the entire thing is we are going back to the fundamentals, that we have to conserve energy, water, and waste. That is the thought process. And if we at the design stage we can do a lot of such things which will ensure the total cost of ownership of the house will be much lesser as compared to a non-sustainable house. That is the thought process. That is from a design fundamentals. Apart from that, the core value is something different. So I think trust, integrity, and transparency are the key values, because finally real estate is an industry where you are developing products, you are building products for a consumer for whom that purchase is the highest lifetime purchase.
Yes.
Somebody who is buying a 20 lakh house to somebody who is buying a 20 crore house, for that person, that is the highest purchase value, highest cost value in the lifetime, the costliest product that person is going to buy.
Correct.
So you have to be that trust, you have to build that trust ki we are the right people to give the money to, we are going to deliver them a right product, we are going to do our best, we have a right intention. That is the most important thing. So trust, integrity, and transparency are the key important features which we kind of abide while doing all our projects, because that person is trusting you with their lifetime savings. So you have to deliver that product. You have to deliver a home, a house, not a building just with features. So that is the kind of thought process we already have. In all our projects, that is the most important thing, कि वो आपका trust नहीं टूटना चाहिए किसी भी customer का. Whenever you do things, you do it with integrity. So there are problems so real estate is not you are doing construction. And construction is done by workers. So we are not saying you are 100% right, but our intent is 100% right. There are problems, but if you have a right intent, you have a right policies, you have right decisions, and that is the most important thing. So that is what I can talk about on the values. The core values are this. So somebody who is buying home should have a peace of mind. If somebody is giving us their own old house for redevelopment, so they have a surety that we are going to give them the home back So redevelopment today is a very big thing in Mumbai.
Yes.
So there's so many people who are giving their 2, 3, 4 crore houses giving to us, and we kind of transform them to a new building and new houses. That is the most important for. During that process, those three values makes a lot of difference, where people are trusting you. Any landowner who is giving you land for joint venture, you have to ensure that you give them back. So all those things are very important in our line of business.
Definitely.
So I think that is what I would say are our core values.
So apart from like, you being from IIT Bombay, what is the current board of Agami Realty like? Are you all engineers, and is it a very engineer-focused company?
So basically, as I told you, company was founded by Mr. Janardhan Sankhe. He's an architect and engineer himself. So we are all technocrats. We are not we are technocrats first and then business.
Then business.
That is the thought process. His son Rahul Sankhe, he runs a couple of other businesses also. He is also from IIT Bombay 94 batch. He's a McKinsey, ex-McKinsey, ISB pass out. So we are all highly educated people, and we have a technical background and a corporate background also. So I think that brings a lot of kind of clarity on the table, different perspective altogether, which comes on the table. I think that is the most important thing. And that if you design a product from a technical background, you tend to deliver a much better product as compared to a business point of view. So I am a Marwadi, they are Maharashtrian. So there's a combination of a risk taking and a risk averse kind of a thought process. So we don't used to take financing also. So now we have a lot of financiers also on board. And so we have taken lines from ICICI Bank, SBI, Aditya Birla.
Okay, and but that's only debt financing.
Debt financing. So, but the whole idea is having that very good governance system in place so that a lot of financial institutions are going to trust you is also very important.
It is actually.
That is also a very good, very important thought process, where a lot of financial institutions like SBI are going to lend you. So they do check their pedigree, they do check your governance in place. So Rahul's kind of corporate experience also brings a lot of experience on the table, and Sankhe sir's overall 50 years plus experience brings a lot of value and wisdom on the table. So all those things are there.
So then, coming from such a corporate and technical background, how is Agami Realty trying to create a space for themselves in real estate? Like, how do you all want to stand out?
Yeah. So, as you know, real estate is a very crowded space. It is very difficult to stand out from a product perspective, from a positioning perspective. And there are a lot of developers, and everybody is doing very good work. So everybody is now evolving and bringing efficiency on the table. So you have a lot of very good developers.
Correct.
So it is very difficult to kind of create your niche space. So since 1975, we have been doing projects in Palghar, Boisar mainly, and we have delivered a lot of projects over there. Okay. When I joined in 2009, after that also we kind of focused on sustainability a lot. And 2009 to let's say 2021 kind of thing, we are still focusing on that area. We delivered few townships with 500 apartments, with the villa project and residential commercial projects. So multiple projects we did in that area, and most of the projects we kind of try to innovate one project after another. Let's say if we deliver one project, next project we will do it better as compared to the specs, as compared to the new kind of the sizing, the lobby. So whatever you can deliver from a product, upliftment of the product, that is the key thought process. Learning every project will kind of be a better than the earlier project. So recently we got awarded at the CREDAI National Award Best Affordable Housing Project in Boisar in Pan India. So one of our project, Agami Sapphire, was awarded as the Best Affordable Housing Project Pan India out of 800 entries. So I think we are doing something different that way. So in affordable category also we are kind of able to deliver a very good quality product. I think that that's create a lot of difference. In Mumbai micro market, we have recently delivered a project called Agami Eternity. And within this micro market, you have all the top brands who are next door to you. And within those brands, how do you create a niche for yourself? I think we were able to create that niche from a product. So our layout designing was super efficient. There was zero wastage. We have 1125 square feet carpet area apartment with 180, 160, 150 square feet of bedrooms, which was not there in any of the big projects, big guys apartment. They are all gated townships. We are a standalone building. And the second thing we were able to do, this is from a product point of view, the second thing we were able to do was kind of bringing the legacy of the location. So everybody was talking about XBKC, BKC Edge or whatever. We thought we are in Kalanagar. This location has its own charm, its own legacy. So we thought, why don't we bring Kala back to Kalanagar? So our address also was Agami Eternity Kalanagar. We asked Arzan to kind of design a sculpture for us. So he designed a kind of Lady Eternity, a 15 feet tall sculpture which is standing outside the building, which is kind of showcasing that love is eternal. And he has done a very good job with that. You will see it once you're there. And apart from that, he has curated a lot of paintings and artworks. We have installed over 100 odd artworks within the building to create a life within the building. So we are not delivering the flat, we are delivering a house, we are delivering a home with a kind of life. That is the thought process. So with that thought process, we try to kind of create one is the product, one is the emotional angle, how you kind of combine both of them and create a niche for yourself. So that is the thought process we did it with Agami Eternity. We are coming up with one more project called Agami Legend, which is opposite MSG Cricket Club. So over there we have signed up with Sunil Gavaskar as our brand ambassador, and with his legacy, he's a first true legend.
Correct.
Sachin Tendulkar came after. He's the first legend
in India. Yes.
So the thought process is we have created the name of the project as Agami Legends because we are kind
that's why I wanted a legend as your brand ambassador.
And a legend is our brand ambassador, and his consistency, his kind of stature, and we are so thrilled to have him as our ambassador. And he is also very picky and choosy about the brand he would like to associate with. Correct. We are very much kind of obliged that he kind of chose us and he is associated with us. So I think creating a value within the product, creating a value within the kind of emotional angle or a brand angle, all those things makes a package yourself. And for every project you try to kind of, if you continue the legacy of the location of the micro market, it will kind of reap you benefits.
But the other interesting thing you pointed out was you're doing a lot of art installations.
Yeah.
Now that is actually a common way to increase property value, but I've only ever heard of it being used in commercial and hospitality.
I think the legacy of the micro market of the location is very important also. So kind of bringing Kala back to Kalanagar was the key thought process, that why can't we kind of, Kalanagar was known because the plots were awarded to the artists. Correct. And why can't you celebrate them? And we've all in our life cycle also, that we initially work on our essentials and then we kind of, so that is the kind of thought process. Correct. We go beyond that. So all those things makes a difference.
So Agami Realty has delivered a little over 2 million square feet so far. So what is in store for the future? Are you all planning to expand to other asset classes, different cities, different micro localities? What is the plan next?
So the thought process is that real estate is a very location specific business. Right. So I think our focus right now is Mumbai and MMR. And we have been delivering in Mumbai and MMR from quite some time now. So we are focusing on that. From MMR also, you have so many locations within MMR. So as CM is also talking about Mumbai 4.0. So since we have a very strong presence in Palghar Boisar micro market, where you have Vadhavan port coming up. So government is going to spend 76,000 crore rupees just to construct the port. उसके बाद जो होगा that's a separate thing. लेकिन कंस्ट्रक्शन में ही इतना पैसा खर्चा करने वाले अगर मान लो 10 साल भी लगेंगे तो you have 7,500 crore per year for next 10 years. That's a huge amount of money to kind of ramp up the economy of that place. किसी economy में किसी location पे अगर इतना पैसा लग रहा है, then it is going to create a lot of business over there within that economy, create a lot of demand. So Vadhavan port is there, we have bullet train stop is coming up. So from BKC to Boisar, I'll take only 35 minutes from this office to that office. That is the kind of infra is going to change the entire game. Then you have CM sir is talking about now first sea airport in the reclaimed land. So yes, third Mumbai airport, they are doing a feasibility study over there where they are thinking of creating a airport on the sea. So that is also on the cards. And you have a dedicated freight corridor from JNPT to Delhi. So that is also, that will be starting very soon. We have 4 lane of Virar Dhanu railway track, so local frequency will increase. So a lot of infra thing is coming up, which will kind of create, so Reliance is coming up, very big textile park over there, around 1,000 plus acres have been acquired already. A lot of things are coming up in that micro market. So Mumbai 4.0 is going to happen very, very soon. And we are a kind of, uh, I think, best developer of that micro market in this location, in that location. So we have a very good advantage, and we have a lot of connects and a lot of things. So focusing on Mumbai 4.0, that is Palghar Boisar region, focusing on Mumbai market redevelopment, those are the key focus areas. And apart from that, we are also working out how we can kind of figure out a product in co-living, in a different asset class. I would say you have a co-working space, co-living. So we kind of try to explore a lot of things, but with a lot of constraint within micro market, getting the right fit takes a lot of time. So we are bullish about next 5 years, and the location will be Mumbai and MMR.
So currently, it seems then you all are literally, apart from working in different parts of the city, you all are also working in two completely different segments, right? Within real estate. One is the affordable housing segment, and now in Bandra East, you all are trying the luxury segment. So how has your approach been different when it comes to these two segments?
So I think, as I was telling you earlier, the whole idea is कि घर घर है, ठीक है. अभी मैं 20 लाख वाले के बनाऊँ या 20 करोड़ के लिए बनाऊँ, the most important feature we look out for is the functionality in the house. कि जो घर की functionality है, that has to be the same. So मतलब it has to be functional. The target audience is separate, they want separate things, but the overall functionality is common across the platform. Correct. So that is the thought process. So let's say I will tell you about the project we are kind of, so Agami Legends is the project we are kind of going to launch, which will have 3 and 4 BHK. So in 3 BHK, we have 1300 carpet area. It's a flat slab thing. So it's a flexible thing. We are giving a bare shell. You can create you can have a 2 BHK in 1300. You can have a 3.5 BHK in 1300 square feet. We are making 4 BHK of 1900 square feet approximately. And they're also, there's no column within the layout. So all the columns are on periphery. You have a very good floor to ceiling height. You have a 150 square feet deck. And
So then if there are no columns, that means all the walls are, none of them are beams then.
So there's no beam, there's no column within your apartment layout. Right. And so you can, so let's say if I see as a person who is buying a 8 to 12 crore house, today that person has 2 kids, they have parents, you have 4 BHK, tomorrow your kids are going out to US, you are only again then two parents and yourself, you need only 2 rooms and 1 guest room, you kind of change the layout to a 3 BHK. Tomorrow you want only your 2 of you left, then you can make it a 2 BHK, and later your kids come back, they got married, again you can make a 4 BHK. And earlier what used to happen, people don't used to change interior every 5 years. Correct. Today, because of Instagram and a lot of things, people do change interiors every 5 years. They get bored of the same interiors thing. So if you are able to provide a flexibility within that layout, that as per the demand, as per your own functional requirement, you are flexible to have a wall here, have a wall there. There is no requirement of there's nothing, there's no beam. So you can create walls anywhere. And you can have a spacious 2 BHK to a 4.5 BHK depending on your requirement. And that is so functionality is the key thing, where if you are able to provide the flexibility to the buyer, they should be able to make whatever they would like to in a space what you live in. So those are the key important thing. And apart from that, let's say if we're talking about a luxury segment, you talk about the parking spaces. So today nobody wants to have a mechanical or a stack or a tower parking, right, or a this thing.
They want to avoid those.
Yeah, so we have tried to create all surface parking. So with the 3 BHK you get 2 parking, 4 BHK you get 2 parking, all are surface. None are, so surface with ramp. So you don't have to kind of do a car lift, you don't have to do a stack. So all car parkings you have are all surface. So these are the key important thing when we think कि रात को अगर आपको 2 बजे ड्राइवर नहीं है, आपको गाड़ी खुद निकालनी है, तो आप लिफ्ट से उतरे, गाड़ी निकाली, you are out of the building. So those are the key important things which you think of. Again you think of from a functionality point of view, आजकल स्विगी, जोमेटो, अमेजन, फ्लिपकार्ट सबके ऑर्डर्स बहुत आते हैं. तो अपने से ज़्यादा डिलीवरी वाले ट्रैवल करते हैं in lifts.
Correct. Yeah,
so
they use the lifts more.
Can you create a lobby where ground floor में entrance lobby is separate, where delivery lobby is separate, delivery lift is separate, you have a separate thing only where all the external people are traveling by the same different lift altogether, and the members and guest lift is separate. So we have been able to create that. You have a separate space, you have a separate entrance lobby for members and guests, you have a separate lobby for the all the delivery, the maid drivers and all those things. And so those are the kind of features that you kind of create at the time of design thought process. So sustainability is one of the thought process, but all these are functional thought process which you can create at the time of designing, and which will create a niche. So as I come back to the question was a 20 lakh to a 12 crore house, how you differentiate.
Yes.
It is all about the functionality. You think from a functionality point of view, and it is going to this thing. So let's say if I do a 20 lakh house, I still do a 3-level security in that also. So you have a security when you enter in the compound, you have a watchman, you have a, in the lobby you cannot enter with a watchman, you have to put a bell and then it will go to your house. You can open the lobby door from your house. So I do it in a 20 lakh house also. जो फंक्शनैलिटी वही है कि वहाँ पे मिनिमम आप सिक्योरिटी पे डिपेंडेंसी रखते हुए कैसे आप काम करो, दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ फंक्शनैलिटी. सो दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ डिफरेंस. टुडे द इंस्टाग्राम एज सबको फिनिशेज अच्छी चाहिए, चाहे वो 20 लाख वाला हो चाहे 20 करोड़ वाला हो. एवरीबडी वांट्स अ गुड फिनिशिंग. इट डिपेंड्स, आप यहाँ पे इटालियन मार्बल दे रहे हो, वहाँ पे आप टाइल दे रहे हो. दैट इज द ओनली डिफरेंस आई थिंक विच इज लेफ्ट टुडे.
Apart from the finish and the structure and everything, was to look at how feasible it is to fix things and repair things. Is that also something part of the functionality you are keeping in mind? Plumbing, wiring, how easy is that to repair?
Life of the building is depend on the MEP, मैकेनिकल इलेक्ट्रिकल प्लम्बिंग. जितना अच्छा MEP रहेगा उतनी ज़्यादा लंबी बिल्डिंग चलेगी, बिकॉज कंक्रीट और स्टील सब अच्छा डालते हैं.
राइट.
प्रॉब्लम आती है लीकेजेस, प्रॉब्लम आती है इलेक्ट्रिकल फिटिंग. सो ऑल दोज थिंग्स आर मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. सो लेट्स से व्हाइल डूइंग वाटर प्रूफिंग, यू आर डूइंग द राइट, you are putting right chemicals, you are doing the right process, you are ensuring that so I'll give you example. So skirting के ऊपर पपड़ी आ जाती है आजकल घरों में लोगों के. If you see in a new houses, so क्या होता है कि माचन होती है, मतलब so वहाँ से वो there's a capillary action and वहाँ का जो पानी है वो ऊपर वॉल पे आता है और आपका पेंट खराब हो जाता है. It's a common problem.
Correct. Yes.
सो हाउ टू काइंड ऑफ इंश्योर. सो वॉशरूम में लोग वाटर प्रूफिंग करते हैं, लेकिन जो उसका उमरा पट्टी होता है वहाँ पे वाटर प्रूफिंग नहीं होती. उससे पानी बाहर आता है, पानी बाहर आके सरफेस में फ्लोर में पानी को निकलने के लिए जगह चाहिए, आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते उसका. तो आपको वॉशरूम का जो पानी है वो वॉशरूम में ही रहना चाहिए, आपके रूम में नहीं आना चाहिए. उसके लिए आपको जो वाटर प्रूफिंग है वो कहाँ करनी चाहिए. ऑल दो थिंग्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स, स्मॉल थिंग्स. बट इफ सो कंस्ट्रक्शन में क्या होता है, फर्स्ट टाइम करेक्ट आपने कर दिया ना तो आपकी लाइफ बहुत बढ़ जाती है. और आपने रिपेयर में गए तो फिर रिपेयर करना पड़ता है, ऐसा नहीं होता. लेकिन अगर इफ़ यू पुट फोकस ऑन मैकेनिकल इलेक्ट्रिकल प्लम्बिंग, यू कैन इंक्रीज द लाइफ ऑफ अ बिल्डिंग बाय 10 to 20 years ईजिली. सो वहाँ पे थोड़ा ज़्यादा फोकस करते हैं हम भी, ऐसा नहीं है मतलब. सो वी आर ऑल्सो नॉट 100% करेक्ट, बट वी ट्राई टू काइंड ऑफ गिव अ फोकस कि आपने उमरा पट्टी को भी अच्छे से वाटर प्रूफिंग कर लिया तो बाथरूम का जो पानी है वो खाली उधर ही जा रहा है. यू आर नॉट, इट इज़ नॉट कमिंग आउट ऑफ ऑन द विद इन योर फ्लोरिंग एंड देन कमिंग बैक टू द दिस थिंग. सो स्मॉल थिंग यू ट्राई टू काइंड ऑफ, यू लर्न फ्रॉम मिस्टेक्स ओनली, बट दैट you try to focus on what all is important, which will kind of elevate the life of the building.
So then you'll make all this accessible for a plumber, electrician who comes in later.
So basically the idea is कि in the duct you should have a standing place where the plumber can stand and then do the repair. उसको जाने की जगह नहीं है तो फिर उसको वो वहाँ पे आपको प्लम्बर उतर ही नहीं पाएगा वहाँ पे. और nobody is going to risk your life today. Earlier सब कुछ चलता था, आज की तारीख में आपको पूरा फैसिलिटी देना है कि आप वहाँ पे उसको एक्सेसिबल हो, वहाँ खड़े रह के वो काम कर सके, रिपेयर कर सके. All those things are most important thing. So you have to provide those things today. Otherwise it is not going to be repaired. So
because that was not a thought process earlier at all. So
you have rightly said, today we have to think how the building is going to be maintained. अगर कोई एलिवेशन का मेरे को फीचर आता है, मेरे को ये सोचना होता है कि भाई मैं बना तो दूंगा, लेकिन how is the society going to maintain it? How is the society? You make a very good glass facade building, but if you are not able to clean the building, it is not going to look good, and it is going to kind of damp our brand name. So all those things are very important. अगर आपको बहुत अच्छी बिल्डिंग बनानी है तो उसका क्लीनलीनेस का भी ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, वो कैसे होगा, क्या होगा. All those things are very important.
Back in the day, architects were using using different materials for ventilation, light, and then they basically were making an excellent use of the materials all around. So is that something you all are trying to bring into your projects and stuff?
So basically we try to evolve with every project, as I've told you earlier also. So let's say in one of our project, Agami Eternity, we have used a fixture where let's say we are all we live in one building and you are living in a 3 BHK, I'm living in a 3 BHK, we have an electrical meter installed. With electrical, the device we have installed where I can track if I'm standing out of 66 member, if I'm standing on the top energy consumption user or a lowest energy consumption user, or I'm above average or below average. मेरे पास अगर डेटा है तो मैं देख पाऊंगा कि मेरे कौन से अप्लाइंसेस खराब हैं, कौन से अप्लाइंसेस सही हैं. तो विद दैट डिवाइस दैट विल टेल यू कि आपका एसी की रिपेयरिंग पेंडिंग है, इसके लिए जो ज़्यादा एनर्जी कंज्यूम कर रहा है, फ्रिज का है, डिश वॉशर का है. सो यू विल गेट एन आइडिया दैट विच appliance of yours need a repair or a servicing to ensure it will reduce less this thing. Second, I will know कि मेरा जो overall जितने लोग रह रहे हैं बिल्डिंग में सिमिलर साइज ऑफ अपार्टमेंट, वो लोग कितनी एनर्जी कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं. तो अपना क्या होता है, रिलेटिव होता है अपना सारा काम. तो अगर मेरा बिल 5,000 का आ रहा है, आपका 4,000 का आ रहा है, तो मेरे को आई विल थिंक ट्वाइस बिफोर वेस्टिंग एनर्जी एंड आई विल ट्राई टू change my habit. So if you see in a Swiggy, Instamart and Zepto space, today our dadis and our nanis and our mothers who are very old, they are also kind of trying to order everything instantly. जो पहले मतलब डीमार्ट या मेट्रो में जाके लाइन लगा के they used to buy ration for a month or 2 months, store it and buying it so habits, convenience makes you pay. So अगर मैंने डेटा पे आपको कन्वीनियंस दे दिया कि आपके घर में कितनी एनर्जी कंज्यूम हो रही है, कितना वाटर कंजम्पशन हो रहा है, सो आप अपनी हैबिट चेंज करोगे. So that is the thought process, how as a developer we kind of create a innovative ecosystem where you can change your habit and usage of energy reduces, usage of water reduces. So now we are going to install a STP today in our new project. We are thinking, if let's say if I can create a daily dashboard every hour and hour कि भाई STP का जो आउटफ्लो है उसका वाटर क्वालिटी कैसा है, तो क्या मैं वो वाटर को अपनी कार वॉशिंग में यूज कर सकता हूँ, क्या मैं can be so we are going to use the water in flushing. So basically what happens after we hand over the society, people generally say कि यार फ्लशिंग टैंक में स्मेल आती है क्योंकि वाटर स्टैग्नेंट हो जाता है. So we are thinking of a way where psychologically we are showing them, because data is saying कि water is it's very clean, you don't have any microbes and anything. So BOD COD level सब कुछ है. आपको अगर उसका ऐप मिल रहा है, then you will not hesitate to use the water again and you will save on the fresh water, and going forward water is going to be the
it's going to be an important feature, right?
If you can kind of create houses where you can see the data points yourself and then your habit will change. So those are the kind of thought process we try to keep in mind when we are designing for future. So आगामी का जो मतलब है वही है कि forthcoming, आने वाला. संस्कृत में आगामी का मतलब है आने वाला. So अगर we as a developer, so if we kind of be true to our name, हम futuristic अगर हम घर डिज़ाइन कर सकें, that is a thought process we can think of. So basically we implement in all our this thing, whenever you buy a fitting, let's say from Kohler, Jaguar or Toto, wherever, so we buy a low flow fittings. So the overall the air, it creates air, so
you need less water basically.
So yeah, that's the thought process. So we try to create those things where you have a low flow fittings, you have a dual flush tank, so you have a 3 liter and 6 liter tank. And so basically the idea is कि let's say if you are creating a plumbing lines, if I create a line where you have a separate flushing tank, you have a separate line going to the kitchen, and you have a separate line going to the domestic use. Yes. So let's say कल if there's a technology where I can treat the entire, so people are talking about a desalination plant, if I can treat my STP water to a level where I can take bath from that water, so उस लेवल पे अगर वो क्लीन हो जाता है, if that water is get treated and if I get the data कि that water has been treated to that extent, then you are taking the bath from that angle. अगर मैंने आज ही अगले 10 मतलब 50 साल का सोच के, I have 3 separate lines where tomorrow you have a technology which you can additionally upgrade your STP and use the water in domestic. And so drinking water is being used as separate thing by MCGM, but the rest of the water, domestic and the flushing, can be recycled water also. Used. Yes, so if you can create plumbing lines from that point of view, it will kind of, like your dad say, how repairable, how changeable. Yes. So those things are most important than if it is designed for tomorrow or not.
In this case, how do you all as a company ensure the quality control and transparency when it comes to all your construction? Because you also employ outside people,
so basically
right?
We try to kind of give a lot of contracts on labor only, so that material is being procured by us. So if the material is procured by us, material wastage will happen, but material chori won't happen. So there won't be, people are not going to use less chemical and less cement because material is procured by us. Right. There'll be wastage, but there won't be kind of quality issues because they are not using the enough material to lay a tile or to use a chemical coating and all those things. We try to provide material ourselves. So there you get a quality check. Since the high quality material has been ordered and used at site, you have a one cross check over there. Second, we try to have more we have a systems and processes of quality check. We have a quality engineer, and all those systems are in place. But we try on site at the time of execution, we try to have a lot of supervisors who have good experience to ensure that the contractor is doing the right thing. कि पहली बार में आप अच्छा काम करो ताकि कोई रिपेयर का काम ही नहीं है. दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ थॉट प्रोसेस वी ट्राई टू अचीव फ्रॉम अ क्वालिटी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. एंड सो क्वालिटी दो तरह की, एक है दिखने वाली क्वालिटी, एक नहीं दिखने वाली क्वालिटी. सो नहीं दिखने वाली क्वालिटी ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज आप कैसा आरसीसी यूज़ कर रहे हो, कैसा कॉन्क्रीट कर रहे हो, कैसा स्टील कर रहे हो, वो रिपेयरेबल नहीं है.
राइट.
रिपेयरेबल क्या है कि टाइल आपका कॉर्नर मैच नहीं हुए, टाइल ऊपर नीचे है, मार्बल ऊपर नीचे है, वो सब चीज़ें रिपेयरेबल है. सो एनीथिंग विच इज़ सुपरफिशियल, विच इज़ लुकिंग फ्रॉम अ क्लाइंट परस्पेक्टिव, दैट टुडे तो वी हायर एजेंसी बिफोर हैंडिंग ओवर. सो वो सारा चीज़ें हम करते हैं कि स्नैग लिस्ट वगैरह बना के उसको ठीक करके वी गिव इट टू देम. बट इंश्योरिंग दैट जब कंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हैं तो वाटर प्रूफिंग बराबर से है नहीं है, कॉन्क्रीट का क्यूरिंग बराबर से है नहीं है. सो ऑल दोज थिंग्स आर मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट कंपेयर टू द superficial thing, because superficial things are your perception developing, but having a right quality, how the building is going to last longer, that is the thought process.
So basically Agami is positioning its projects as being future ready.
Yes.
So what exactly does that mean for the end user?
You think and design from a point of view where your quality of life improves.
Okay.
फाइनली घर है, मैं घर पे आ रहा हूँ तो आई नीड दैट पीस ऑफ माइंड. सो हाउ यू डिजाइन अ हाउस वेयर योर क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ improves, that is the kind of key thought process.
So future ready is basically for future technologies that might come in, how you all can use them in your house. That is the kind of projects you are building.
Technology, functionality, all those things are key important features you would say. Let's say if you have all the parking slots have EV connect charging stations.
Right.
So let's say tomorrow, today is a war, you don't have petrol, diesel, but you have a EV cars.
So how come you all chose Kalanagar as this micro market that you all wish to focus on then?
So we got an opportunity. There was society which was not going ahead for the development for various reasons. They approached us in 2021. We signed the document within, let's say, 3-4 months, and so 2023 we started construction, in 25 we delivered OC. So 2.5 years we kind of
not bad, yeah.
We finished the project from excavation to OC, and we have got a lot of blessings from them. And with their blessings we got one more project, and the third project in the pipeline which will be closing soon.
So how do you see this location, Kalanagar, evolving as a high end or a different
Let's say
user?
2009 when I came here, Bandra East does not existed. It was only Bandra East, Bandra West. There was no Bandra East only.
Correct.
So that time ICICI Bank and all those banks were kind of setting up their offices in BKC. From last 10, 15 years, 20 years, BKC has transformed completely. Now you have multiple Japanese companies. They have bought land at crazy prices from MMRDA, and I think we are looking at a lakh rupees square foot of a commercial space already.
Right.
Make City rents are 800-900 rupees per square foot already. So BKC rents and rates are going crazy today. So you have the country. Mumbai is the financial capital of the country, and BKC is the financial capital of Mumbai.
Correct.
So it's a heartbeat of Mumbai, that says. So all the banks, everybody is here. All the big financial companies are in BKC. Then now you're coming up with a 30-acre high court complex within this micro market. So from 200 meters away from our micro market, you have a biggest high court complex of 30 acre, which is, so high court is going to shift from 4 to here.
Oh, right.
So that is going to transform. It's a next level transformation, and the construction has already started. So you see lawyers coming in, moving. So you have all the senior counsels who have multiple hearings in a day. They tend to kind of live and work close by within this. So official and residential both demand will increase altogether.
Correct. They'll need commercial space as well.
Commercial, commercial as well as the residential also. So generally, a lot of councils have their home offices also, because that is the kind of concept, because these are the one-man show kind of a people. They have 2-3 people, and they try to kind of argue and all those things. So they do not have big office spaces. They have small office spaces, and generally they try to have their home offices set up also. So I think residential also it is going to have a completely different because of the so Kalanagar, this micro market from BKC to highway is it's a different thought process also. It's different location altogether because you have a coastal road, you have a airport, you have a BKC, you have a high court coming up. 30-acre high court complex will kind of change the entire definition altogether of this micro market. So I think overall demand within this micro market is going to be, and you have a limited land bank. Most of the societies are already developed. So whatever few societies are left are going to create a product of for a different.
So when you are doing redevelopment in this area, are you all now going to start suggesting multi-purpose buildings and stuff like that?
So it depends. So basically, what happens if you have a residential building, you can create some kind of a commercial hub. We are still figuring out how to kind of, so depend on what kind of product you do. But yes, so maybe you can plan a apartment where you have a separate home office kind of a concept. So let's say 2,500 square feet, 4 BHK, where you have a 500 square feet of office within that apartment. We have a separate entry. Something like that might evolve over a period of time.
All right.
Because I'm selling an apartment, or you have a 3.5 BHK and you have a studio separately.
Right. So then that's design keeping that in mind. Yes.
So like I've told you, today real estate product is most important. जैसे रियल एस्टेट इज ऑल अबाउट एफिशिएंसी टुडे. पहले क्या होता था, आप जितना ज़्यादा इनएफिशिएंट हो उतना आपका रेट बढ़ेगा, उतना ज़्यादा आप पैसा कमाओगे. टुडे इट इज ऑल अबाउट एफिशिएंसी, इट इज ऑल अबाउट टाइमिंग. जितना फास्ट प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट होगा then only you are going to then only the better the margins are. Otherwise you are out of the business.
Correct.
So the stakes are so high. So you have to design the right product for the right time for the right audience. So all those things are very important today. So we take a lot of time in designing the right product, do a lot of research, and come up with a product accordingly.
So how do you think the growing presence of institutional investors and the increasing corporatization of real estate is kind of reshaping how Indian real estate is moving ahead as an industry? Are we becoming more transparent? Are we becoming more diverse? Are there more players, less players? What do you think is happening now?
So I think since 2016, industry has changed a lot. So you have GST, Demon, RERA, GST, all three things coming together year by year, and everything is linked. So the idea is that going forward, you need to develop at a scale. Then only you can absorb all those costs, and so it is going to be a business at scale, business at efficiency, and business which will attract institutional capital. So these are the three things which are going to be mandated. It depends on what scale you would like to operate it. There are a lot of people who are eyeing for IPO. There are people who would like to stay private only. But you need to have at least certain scale to make your brand, to attract institutional capital and ensure you have a very high level of governance. So these three are non-negotiable. And finally, it is a consumer-driven business. So having a very good brand value, having a very good delivery of the product, you cannot compromise on the product. So that way, I think designing right product and delivering right product on time, trust and transparency, all things, nothing is non-negotiable today. You have to be 10 on 10 from a customer service. You have to 10 on 10 on transparency and trust, because buyer is very technical savvy, technology savvy. So you have to give your 200% to survive in today's market. That is the only way.
Personally, as Agami Realty, you all have been, so far only you all have raised debt, right, to service your projects. So in the future, are you all also thinking of raising private equity?
Equity in real estate business is little difficult, because what happens is we do a lot of projects in different SPVs. So a lot of value. Correct. And then you have a separate holding company which is tying up to. So then
only that SPV will have to fund it.
So that is the whole idea. And private equity still is not so in 2006-07 a lot of equity capital came into India, but since real estate is a very tricky business, people are more comfortable into a structured debt or a equity like
debt. Financing is
so taking money out of a company is also more beneficial from a debt structure point of view. So equity is if you are mature to a level, then only equity will come to you. To a certain stage, only it will be debt only. And if it is the equity like capital, also there are a lot of AIFs also which are coming in the picture.
Right.
So they raise equity, but they fund as a debt, because the NCD structures and all those things. So that is also from a structuring point of view, a equity-like capital, which is structured like a debt. That is the kind of thought process we have in today's market. So equity will take time, but yeah, debt is debt from multiple. You have NBFCs, you have financial institution, you have AIFs. So that is going on. So.
And from a consumer point of view, how do you guys see the demand and the challenges for over the next decade? How do you see the demand evolving? Are consumers going to want something different? Like you said, things changed a lot after COVID, but what do you think the next 10 years are going to bring?
So it's a very tough question, because consumers' demand changes are changing very fast comparatively. So if I'm launching a project today, it's a 3 to 4 year cycle. And if the thought process of consumer changes कि भाई मेरे को बड़े घर में नहीं छोटे घर में रहना है, then I'm stuck with the inventory which I cannot change. Right. I have constructed halfway, and so it is very difficult question to answer, and it is a very difficult question while we are designing the project also. That because the demand changes very fast, things go viral very fast. So today something is, people are crazy about something, tomorrow they are crazy about something else, day after tomorrow they are crazy about something else. So in today's very dynamic market, it is very difficult as a real estate developer to survive, because you cannot change your product overnight.
True.
You have to live with your product for next 3 to 5 years. So you have to envisage from that angle that what is going to be there. So visualization of the demand today is the most important thing while we are designing any product. That is the most important thing, and that is the most challenging thing for us also, what kind of product we should make, because you cannot change.
Correct.
If you are casted, so approvals you can change once or twice, that is also a cost. But if you have constructed the footing and the building, so you cannot change it at all. So that is going to be a very tricky situation, and that is going to be the most challenging. So we keep thinking about it, that how demand is going to change. Going forward, overall, if you see as a real estate industry, we are a growing country. We need more houses. We are not living in joint families anymore. People are kind of getting married, shifting to new houses. So we are going to need more houses. We are going to upgrade. We are a developing country also. The people are moving from lower middle class, higher class. So people are upgrading also. So that way demand is going to be there. So that's why I've talked about the flexibility. If I can create a house where it can be a 3 BHK or a 4 BHK or a 2.5 BHK, multi-configuration wise, then you are kind of agnostic to the demand of the people.
Correct.
तो दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ थॉट प्रोसेस यू आर ट्राइंग टू क्रिएट कि भाई मैं ऐसा घर बना दूं कि भाई आपको स्पेस है, आप अफोर्ड कर सकते हो 1800 स्क्वायर फीट या 1200 स्क्वायर फीट या 2000 स्क्वायर फीट. अभी उसमें आपको क्या बनाना है, दैट इज योर चॉइस.
So we'll try to make it as customizable,
flexible, and every individual person has a different demand altogether. We do not live in a standardized thing कि भाई यही ऐसा ही 1 BHK होगा या 3 BHK होगा, 4 BHK होगा. Everybody needs a flexibility. So because अपने यहाँ एक वो भी है, घर is a psychological purchase. It is not it's a emotional purchase. It is not a financial purchase. So मैंने पहले इंटीरियर कर लिया तो आपका इंटीरियर मेरे से अच्छा ही होगा. मतलब if you are shifting it on new building, you will go and see 10 different flats, you pick 10
the best of all of them. Yes.
If yours is 11th, if mine is 12, mine will be better than you.
Correct.
So that is how we think as Indians. So that way, if you provide that flexibility, you have that flexibility to the consumer, and then they can play with whatever taste and whatever functionality they would like to have.
Thank you so much, Prashant. This was a lovely interview.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
It was an absolute pleasure. That's a wrap for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for more regular updates. And do share your thoughts and feedback in the comment section below.